year, I think it would have been.
I think officially
next
it's
year,
2013 about animals.
Oh yeah.
Because according to the set list, it
forgot
was
to play
looking
that,
like
yeah.
every fifth show, it would have made it into the set list.
When we started out, when you start out on a tour, normally you're playing a lot of the new album. So we started this album. We were playing almost the entire album, which is quite unusual. I remember the last album we went out on tour, and there was only really about 4 or 5 songs that really worked well live, and we only played those. But this one we played a lot. The Animals was on it. We were playing at every gig for the first 3 or 4 months, weren't we? I'm not sure what happened. I think somewhere in the American tour we just swapped it out for something else and just forgot to put it back in again. But I think that song's definitely going to come back for sure. Maybe we'll play it tomorrow if we remember in Quebec.
Well, that's what I thought. Maybe you guys were saving it for the last North American date.
Yeah, maybe. Well, Glenn's here, our manager, to remind us to play that tomorrow, and then we'll do that in Quebec. And we'll
give a special shout out to the Montreal fans that wanted to hear it last night. Something new on this album, Chris not only wrote, but he's singing a couple of songs. Is that something you guys see happening more in the future, or is that more a part of his, sort of healing process?
A bit of both really. I think it's nice to have a different sound coming out of the band. For me, I like it. When the band started, I didn't really want to be a singer. I just became a singer because where we lived, we couldn't find anyone who wanted to sing in our band, so I just started singing. But yeah, it's nice. It's nice hearing a different voice. I think his songs were very personal. I'm not sure how many songs he's really written. I think really those 2 were the ones that he wanted, and they came out of this process that he'd been through, getting through alcoholism basically. And I think so. Whether or not he carries on with writing music, we'll see. Or writing songs that he wants to sing.
So Dominic, are you going to start writing songs and singing as well? Or?
You've got to hit the booze first, don't you?
Give it a few years.
Yeah, we'll see. I normally say that my singing stops as I leave the shower. You never know.
I want to ask you guys about the online poll that crowd your harp tour, the greatest event to ever take place at Wembley Stadium. You beat out, among other things, Live Aid, England's 1966
That's ridiculous.
World Cup victory, Michael Jackson's Bad Tour, and Queen's 1986 Magic Tour. It was an online poll. I think it was like 60,000 people that voted. What kind of reaction? I mean, it shows
the demographic of who uses the internet, because all those other events, the people who would have voted for them probably don't have the internet.
Right.
It's like people in their 50s and 60s who remembered those events. So yeah, I mean,
so all the old codgers that were cheering on England for the World Cup victory.
I can't believe that anyone would put us above England beating Germany in 1966. That's just a historic event, I mean, you can't beat that.
We had the graphic up of it before, but my favorite description. Oh, there it is. My favorite description of the album artwork was neon broccoli. The neon broccoli.
Or what was that? What are those silly wigs you can buy? For party wigs. It looks like a.
The troll wigs.
Yeah, that last one was the one.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, that's the front cover. I think that last one you just showed was the one that I put my face in. So it looked like I had a day glow, Mohican. But it's actually, it's an image. It's a 3D image of a brain, and the neurons in the brain, and all the different colours. I think
that one's the nerves that go down the neck. That's the brain.
Right.
What it is, it's not the brain. It's all the neuron connections in the brain represented as lines essentially. So you can see like where it goes down the neck. Where's the other image? Here it comes. Well, it was there a second ago.
That's just the logo.
There it is. I think that's the neck or something.
All right.
Yeah, it's kind of interesting.
I like neon broccoli.
Something to talk about, what I mean?
At the risk of exposing myself as a gleek, my wife made me ask this question: how much vocal training did you give Kate for her arc on Glee?
No, she didn't email. She's actually a really good singer. She's I couldn't believe it when I first met her. She sat on the piano and started playing all these songs, and I was like, wow, hold on a minute. She's been singing all her life. I think really that's what she would have loved to do. But she obviously went into acting and stuff, and then so finding these roles where she gets to sing, I think she really enjoys that stuff. I didn't have to give her any. She gives me lessons actually.
They didn't try to convince you to come on the show?
What, on Glee?
Yeah.
I mean, won't want to
Yes,
bring
but no,
the
it's not
vibe
gonna
down.
happen.
Do you know what I mean? I think it might. I don't know. Maybe. Dom, I think you should get on there in your Spider-Man costume.
Priceless TV, that would be, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Priceless.
Don't you fancy Leah Michelle? Do you? Is that what she's called, Leah Michelle?
Which one's that?
That's the main one.
Oh, is
That's
it?
the main girl in it.
I
I think she's single now. You're single.
Oh, there you go. I don't actually watch it though. But
I can hook you up. I know
Hey,
someone who knows
Matt's
someone.
got the
I know people who know
connections,
people.
He knows everybody.
I think she's single. Isn't she? No.
No, that's
Oh, maybe I've blown it there. I don't know. The fucking tabloids. You know, it's shit these days. Everything I say gets printed up. Sorry, just can you delete that bit? Delete that
it's
bit.
live on radio, isn't it?
yeah. This is
Sorry
live.
in
Yeah.
advance.
But you guys, how do you guys manage to? Speaking about Kate and family, and I know you have a son, and you broke your foot, and because you were doing gardening,
No.
or is that just a vicious rumor?
No. I was chasing the dog around the garden.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of gardening, but I got off tour and hadn't seen the sunshine for a while. I think. No. Where were we? No, we were touring in Europe in the winter time, so it was snowy and cold, and I went home to LA for a few days, and it was just like sunny. I just lost it. Got excited in the sun. I was chasing the dog around, got really excited, and there was a slightly dewy wetness on the grass, and took a corner too fast, skidded, and there was a brick wall there, and my middle toe smashed into the corner of it, and I stood up. I just saw my middle toe just dangling like a.
I believe that's what
Like a
the
scrotum
second
sack.
picture is actually. It's,
And it was just like I couldn't feel anything though. It's quite pleasing to know that when you break things with severe pain, you don't feel anything. You think it's just numbs, just like a numb limp.
I'll just walk it off.
Peace.
It'll feel better.
Right, limped off. But it was a shame. Yeah, we had to cancel a couple of gigs, but we're going back there. I think it was unfortunately, it was what was it? Norway or something? Norway
and Sweden, yeah.
Sweden. Unfortunately, yeah, we couldn't make those gigs, but we're going back there in the summer.
Quebec
No
City, Quebec City tomorrow night to wrap up the North American leg of the tour, and then back over to Europe in the summer. How do you guys get some time off? How tough is it for you to sort of slip back into, or do you do you slip back into sort of family life, or
You like slipping around, don't you?
Yeah, I think you easily adjust. The more you, I think the more you travel. Like we've been traveling for so many years that you can very easily adjust into different situations. So after being on the road for, I suppose over here in North America for about 3.5 months, we'll get a couple of weeks break just to relax, and chill out. So, but then we start a whole European tour, which is completely different again to what we're doing here. It's all outdoor shows and football stadiums and stuff like that. So,
right.
That's going to be, we're very excited about that. So it's going to be cool to put on a whole different show. That's what we need to work out, really. We need to figure out what we're doing.
And then back to North America in the fall. I saw you guys announce some tour
That's it,
dates.
yeah. There's a fourth leg, I think, on the East Coast a little bit.
Right.
Philadelphia, Washington, then we go down to Nashville and finish up on Austin City Limits Festival, yeah.
Oh, very cool. Well, I do hope you guys come back to Montreal, and next time come back in the wintertime. Maybe we convince Chris to have a pickup ice hockey shinny game.
Yeah, definitely.
Or maybe a little street hockey instead of soccer, as we rudely call it here.
Sounds good.
Game.
Sounds great, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, Matt and Dom from Muse.
Cool, thank you.
Thank you. Cheers.